Another Make America Great Again fake patriot was caught on Facebook just being a white supremacist. Now, you know, Colin Kaepernick and Nike triggered the Make America Great Again fake patriots, and they were burning their Nikes and burning their clothes. Now, recently we know that Ford came out in support of the kneeling NFL players. I'm waiting for them to start burning their F-150s because, you know, a lot of them got F-150s. So this particular teacher was upset. She took to Facebook, and I want you to see the news clip, and then we'll get to talking about more of the white supremacist antics. They don't care about their jobs, obviously, but let's roll the clip.
This is what was posted online by Valerie Scoggin, a teacher at Slidell High School. The post starts out, "They don't have to live in that country. They could go back." It then goes on to say, "Want to not be stereotyped, tell people of that color to quit acting like animals." It's unclear who Scoggin is referring to and what prompted this message, but for some parents, it doesn't matter.
That is something that I do not want around my children.
It's literally jaw-dropping for Kadra Menard.
It makes me furious to know that an adult like that is able to influence our children for 8 hours a day without our say-so. That just makes me really upset.
Reading that message, just based on what you read, did you view it as racist?
Absolutely.
The director of public information for St. Tammany Parish Public Schools said, quote, "We are aware of the post. The teacher did remove the post. We are taking the appropriate disciplinary actions."
If this is posted and this is something that was actually said, then yeah, it needs to be addressed.
An official with the school district said they are taking the appropriate disciplinary actions, but they would not expand on what that means. Meanwhile, we were told that teacher was in class today.
So let's kind of just go through this a little bit, what this woman was talking about. Now, the thing is, this Valerie Scoggin, now, she says they don't have to live in that country. They can go back, but it was their own people selling them into slavery to begin with and tearing them even worse in those countries of origin. They always like to talk about that. Go back to where? Where are we supposed to go back to? You know, most of us was not born on the continent of Africa. Matter of fact, you made it in a way that we couldn't even trace our lineage. You took away our names. You took away our languages. You took away everything. So how can we go back and trace back anything? Now, sure, we can do DNA tests, but it doesn't tell us the exact tribe that we come from. Now, she always talking about go back to something. You didn't come over here either, your ancestors. Didn't come over here and ask the Native Americans for immigration papers. You're here legally too. So what are you talking about? You know, if you want to go back to something, you don't like the country, why don't you go where your ancestors was at, the Caucasus Mountains? Go in there with that raw meat and the dog. That's where you was at. And we're going to talk about going back somewhere. If we got to go back to Africa at least. I would say want a better neighborhood, move. You don't have to choose to live in those zip codes. Okay, well, what's the point of that? You know, they always come up with this. They're so concerned about what happens to you. They're not concerned. They're trying to mock you, even though that the situations in the particular black communities are the fault of the white supremacists. Why they take all the resources out. They make sure they have all the resources. I mean, it's a issues going on all the time. But my thing is they take black people's resources away from them, but also they take their tax dollars to benefit everyone else. And then in the same communities, they allow every immigrant to come in, you know, business wise. And what I mean by immigrant, I mean like the Asian immigrants, the Indian, the Arabs. They let them establish business in the black community, but they won't give loans to the people in the black communities that live there because they don't want us to do well for ourselves. Now, she says you don't want to be stereotyped. Tell people of that color quit acting like animals and perpetuating the stereotype. Many are average people. The few ruin it. I mean, I know she's not calling nobody no animal. This strong face looking female, I mean, look at her. Like I said, I can really go down on her and clown her. I mean, but I'm going to just say she just got an extremely strong face to be talking about somebody. I mean, she's the last one to be calling somebody an animal. Really, if I start going through and reading her, how she's related to they're going to try to call a monkey or something. I mean, she's more related to a monkey than I am. I mean, that's all what they try to do. Now, she say you want better neighborhoods, quit voting for handouts, and pay taxes. Donald Trump just gave a handout to the richest Americans and corporations. That's a handout. Tax breaks for the rich are handouts. You do know, ma'am, that white people get more government benefits than any other group. So what are you talking about? Now, she said that's what helps neighborhood school services provide the community. There's a reason for taxes. Yes, taxes, if it's done the right way, do help out with certain improvement. But if the people don't have jobs, or the city, state, or government aren't working to bring businesses where people can be hired, then you can't pay taxes. It's just that simple. Simple economics, right? But this woman as well, people you heard in the video, was upset, and rightfully so. When I heard that she was still allowed to teach class, I was very bothered by that. I said, wait a minute, you got a woman who don't like black folks allowed to be in class? Well, the school district did their research, and once again, we'll cue up Pinky.
Then you fired.
Yes, she was fired, and we'll put the picture up on that. She lost her job behind this Facebook post. Once again, if you say you have a high IQ, why do you keep getting fired for the same freaking reasons? When you learn not to be on Facebook saying racial things? Wouldn't you learn that by now? But no. I've done countless videos day in, day out of people losing professional jobs behind racism. That's why I don't believe them. That's why we laugh when they talk about they have a high IQ. First thing you can do is deceive yourself into something. And when people like her are deceiving herself that she has a high IQ and that she's better than people, but obviously she can't figure out something simple like don't post this kind of stuff on Facebook, or I'm going to lose my job because I have to pay my bills, my mortgage, rent, light, car, whatever you got to pay. I mean, it doesn't make sense now. The whole world know who you are, but you got a high IQ, you know, because I thought people with high IQ would figure you don't do things like that because you need to keep a job. Well, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story. It's just amazing how they just keep doing this mess over and over and over and over and over. You think they would learn by now?